appreciate it. And shout out to my mans with the vocals. I was sitting in the back counting how many seconds this dude was going to sit there and scream my name. But you know what? I appreciate it. But before I go any further, shout out to my band. If Nintendo ain't giving y'all dudes no love, let me let you know, I'm gonna give you love until a mother game drops on the Nintendo system again. Like, can we get any kind of mother game on the Nintendo system again? Shout out to the Runaway 5, y'all. Runaway 5, y'all. Shout out to the Runaway 5. Ain't no band like the Runaway 5 band. I see y'all. I'm your man Quentin Williams, the host with the most. Just because I gave y'all my first and my last does not mean you need to do no Spokio searches on your man. I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. You ain't gotta be checking on me and be looking to see if I'm looking up some hentai or something like that. I promise I ain't got nothing that's visible there. Maybe on a hard drive or two, but that's none of y'all business. Thank you for joining me for the Geek Show. I can't even get my words right. I've been talking about it for the last 4 years. I've even changed almost all of my social media accounts to the Geek Show, except here on the tube. But no time like the present, especially with all the drama that's been going down on the interwebs. And y'all know, like I know, there's always much drama when it comes to video games. Sakurai came out last week and said that Byleth is going to be the 5th DLC fighter here on Smash Bros. Ultimate. And while I can't lie, I was a little shook because I was expecting Gino, did a thumbnail of it, and I was going to get the Starfighter that Goddess Rosalina was going to grant my wish and give me Gino, but it ended up being Byleth. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally had about 600-something hours into Fire Emblem Three Houses, and don't judge me and ask about my marital status. You know what? That ain't none of your business. Also, 600 hours is just a summer. I don't be questioning y'all about Call of Duty, but I wasn't mad. I was a little salty, and especially not since we're going to be getting an additional fighter on top of the 5 fighters that we already were promised by Sakurai. So that means that, well, we have a chance to get those characters that our hearts are really set on. Along with the Smash debacle, which I don't really feel that is huge debacle, especially since we're getting 6 more characters for the rest of this year spread out. That's a lot of more wishes and directs that we're going to be having. The internet's Ethernet wires are in a knot as well, because Sony has said that they might, it's rumor phase, be putting out Horizon Zero Dawn and some of its other exclusives onto the PC. Now, me personally, I really don't care. I could see if it was going onto another console, but to the PC, isn't like the PC like, you know, the universal gaming console? I know it's PC Master Race, but usually people who have a PC have a Nintendo or they have a PlayStation or something else, because there's certain exclusives that you only get on certain systems. People are also upset or a little bit in their feelings because Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be delayed from its April 10th launch date, which was just around the corner, up until September 7th or something around that date. Now, for me personally, I understand exactly why they decided to drop the game at a later date. I mean, Final Fantasy VII just postponed its date from March 20th 3 days before my birthday and pushed it back into April 10th. So I see why Cyberpunk wanted to push their game back. That's almost equal to a movie, let's just say hypothetically speaking, like Half-Baked, that drops right around the same as something as Titanic. Now, I'm not saying Cyberpunk is Half-Baked, but if you in that particular genre or field, Half-Baked is a classic movie, just to throw that out there for you. But that just gives me more time to play, you know, not only Kakarot, which I'm glad that Final Fantasy VII pushed back, so give me more time with that, but it almost gives me more time to play Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Hey, stop, black person! So I woke up the other morning and I look up and I'm like, you know what? I get a tweet and it's all this chaos and stuff happening in the world. There is fires in Australia. There is meteors coming down. And then there is the impending threat of World War III. So what the hell, HE double hockey sticks, does that have to do with, well, Geek? Doesn't that sound like the script of Final Fantasy VII? Tyrannical president, check. Shinra? Meteor falling from the sky, well, Sephiroth and Meteor, and, well, fires and war, well, that sounds like Watu. You know, Yuffie's hometown, I kind of butchered the name, but you know, I ain't got the Japanese accent. Square Enix has dropped like 3 more videos of trailers since the last time that I, made a video. And I'm ashamed to even say that Tifa, baby, I wasn't there to watch you at the Game Awards. I had to work, girl, you know, but we already talked about this, boo. Tifa, you know I love you, right? I wouldn't do nothing. I would never do anything to hurt you. Ooh, baby, I'll give all my love to you. If I give you every little bit of my love. There is literally about a month and a half away until Final Fantasy R, the remake, well, Final Fantasy VII, comes out, and I'm super excited for Final Fantasy VII because you already heard me say this multiple times that that's my 1B game of all time. If it wasn't for the GOAT game, Chrono Trigger, 1A, then it would be Final Fantasy VII. No other game has actually touched me other than Chrono Trigger, but in different ways. And I ain't just talking about Tifa. I mean the whole story from villain to the dialogue to how the hair with Cloud and Zack and Sephiroth contrast and to the real world elements, which again lets me to talk about all the things that were happening in our real world society to their society, which is very near future. If you look up the synopsis of Final Fantasy VII, the original synopsis, it talks about how it's near future. And again, when you look at it from the aspect of our era 2020, yeah, it's kind of scary. Hopefully nobody starts making super soldiers if they already have it. My prediction is Final Fantasy VII R, the remake, will be Game of the Year. Yep, I already said it. I've already said it. I know Kakarot's coming out. I know Cyberpunk's coming out. I know Metroid might come out. I also know that there's Animal Crossing coming out and that The Last of Us 2 is going to be out. And with other games and systems and consoles from the Xbox X series, we'll get into that later, and the PlayStation 5, we'll get into that later too, will be out, and we don't really know what games are dropping for that. Usually and typically there's not a lot of great launch title games, unless a system's Nintendo. Then there's something to worry about, like if they drop the Breath of the Wild. But now, if Sony would have held out and dropped Last of Us 2 for the PlayStation 5 exclusively, and we would have got no loading time, and we'd got that pure 4K, might make a lot of people have to go out there and get a 4K TV. But the way it stands, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, in my opinion, is going to be the game of the year. With an ATB attack time battle system, which can be swapped with basically the Final Fantasy 15 battle system, where we're able to control each and every one of our own characters. Like, sincerely, can you really imagine fighting as Cloud? Yeah, you can, because we watched the trailers. Fighting as Cloud with the Buster Blade and then using different materials. We can see the slots, y'all. And then flipping it over to fighting as Tifa, which has hand-to-hand combat. See, everybody always on my time because they think that I'm in love with Tifa because the Mammoraries. Okay. The Mammoraries is nice, but it's because Tifa sincerely is a strong character. Yeah, it's because she's a strong character. And because, well, she got them hands. Tifa got them hands. I'm pretty sure that Tifa in a hand-to-hand combat can whoop Cloud's ass. I ain't seen no documentation about it, but have you seen my baby with the somersault and the short skirt? I couldn't even get the words out. The short skirt. Tifa got hands, and she got legs too. I also am very interested in to see how all the summons do and see what Barrett does. And we haven't even talked about Vincent, Yuffie, Sid, or Cat Sith. But they might even make Cat Sith an actual good-looking character. I'm really interested to see more of the story and see the whole Biggs, Wedge, as well as Jessie relationship between her and, and Biggs. I want to see if that, materializes. Can we see different things? Because when we played the 1997 version and even the HD version, we still got blocks and people with their fingers cut off. So to be able to see one of my favorite games of all time, my 1B, I told y'all already, that this is super exciting for me, and I legitimately just had a geekgasm. I can't wait. Final Fantasy VII R, mark it on your calendar, will be the game of the year. Even if it's episodic, I don't even care. Take my money, Square Enix. Take my funds, because I want it, I need it, and I gotta have it. All the episodes, even though it's some Crisis Core in it. Can I get some Dirge of Cerberus too? Put that on the plate too. Let's just get a smorgasbord of a whole bunch of Final Fantasy VII stuff. Can we get Before Crisis as well while we own it? I don't care if I gotta wait. Give me what I've been asking for the last 20 years, which begs me to ask this question. Someone ask it to y'all. Do you remember not too long ago, Square Enix said that they were not going to make a Final Fantasy VII remake up until a Final Fantasy game made more money than Final Fantasy VII? Well, it's been a whole bunch of games Final Fantasy wise that came out since Final Fantasy VII, and none of them have they have missed the mark, So my question is, was this Square's final fantasy finale, the last one, the filet, it's over, finito, and I'm happy. Personally, I actually enjoyed the movie. I went in with no expectations, and sometimes that's basically the best way you need to go into something, because I didn't listen to no reviews. For all the y'all that watch my review, I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll do one of these. But as for everybody else who did not watch the review, like I didn't watch nobody reviews and just went in, didn't you enjoy the movie a lot better by not listening to the hearsay or even looking at Twitter? Like, you cannot go nowhere no more on these social streets when something that's big blockbuster comes out and you don't want to be spoiled. I watch Power, and you know what? I love you, Lala, girl. I love you. And Mello, my dude, 50, you know what? What up, blood? What up, gangsta? I love you, 50 Cent, but y'all did not have to spoil parts of Power with Lakeisha and Tasha for me. So, I digress. I really enjoyed Star Wars Episode 9, Return of the Skywalker, a lot more than a lot of people did. I enjoyed the fact that now it's over, and I even enjoyed more of the fact that it feels like everybody and their grandmama can finally come out and talk about and say different things that they wanted to say. John Boyega, if you're not familiar with the dude, he plays Finn, and well, he was airing his real feelings. He said on IG and on the Twitter that, you know what, everybody giving him a hard time about whether he was going to tell Rey that he loved her, and well, about Kylo Ren before his last scene kissing Rey, and he says, and I quote, "It's not about who's kissing who, it's about who's laying down the pipe." Damn, my dude, you've been holding that in since episode 7, my guy, which I understand, because you know what? Finn is a tragedy. I don't know how many times I can say this, how they did my dude Finn. Did Finn end up with anybody? Okay, so at least Rey had, the taste of a Skywalker. I mean, Finn didn't get a taste of Rey. They introduced this new black girl. I forget her name. She's cute, but I forgot her name. I didn't really feel that she needed to be in the movie. She just kind of was there, and then she left, and then Billy D. Williams is still being Billy D. Williams, swooped the girl up and took her away. Now she's in one of these ranches or something. I don't know what the hell's going on. Person that I thought was going to end up with Finn was Rose. I love you, Rose. Baby, if nobody else love you, Rose, I love you, Rose. I got you, girl. I got you. And even with all the hardships that she endured outside of, the screen, you would think that the powers that be that wrote the script would have let her and Finn be together. Finn went and gave Rey a friendship hug, or rather she gave him the friendship hug, him and Poe, and he barely looked. He gave Rose the side eye, and that was the end of the flick. So who ended up with who? We gotta wait till the actors talk about it on Twitter and on Instagram. That part I didn't like. Well, there's the Mandalorian. And the Mandalorian is what Star Wars should be. If you have not watched Mandalorian, I don't want to hear no excuses, no X, Y, Z's, and no ifs, ands, buts about it. Disney Plus is only $6.99, and I ain't getting plugged for it yet, but I'll let y'all know when. They give you a free 7-day trial. I'm going to tell you like this. 40 minutes an episode. Take one day. Binge watch them all. It's only 8 episodes, and you'll appreciate Star Wars the way that it was supposed to be written, much like how the original felt, where it was a space opera set in a Western Flash Gordon type feel. I almost said Final Fantasy. I don't know if y'all read my lips. I was about to say Final Fantasy VII. Game of the Year. Oh, that's right. Guess what? Sony has just released some information about the PlayStation 5. I'll wait. Oh, you got the same information I got. Nothing. The only thing we got was a new logo change design. And y'all know, like I know, a logo can make or break not only an item, but it can also make or break a company. And you know what? I guess that's why if it ain't broke, they ain't trying to fix it. Because the PlayStation 5 logo, it looks just, and when I mean just, I mean it looks spit damn near carbon copy as well the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Deuce, and PlayStation 1. The PlayStation dominates the video game console market anyway. I mean, I love Nintendo, but I can't deny the facts. Show me the geek facts! Show me the geek facts! the PlayStation has almost all the numbers on the top 10 list of most units sold, and only the Wii and the Game Boy Advance DS merger smart of Nintendo to just consider one console a whole thing, even though 3DS, DS Lite and all was kind of like separate system. It's all on one umbrella. We see you, Nintendo. We see you, what you doing, how you stockpiling them numbers. You was trying to do that with the Wii U too, and that's probably one of the reasons. The PlayStation 5 should be out this Christmas season, so I'm expecting it's going to be out around the same time as, well, the PlayStation 4 came out in 2014. So you're looking at probably like, you know, November 4th to November 11th. You know they're going to be out before Black Friday, and this is going to be a huge Black Friday. Actually, when the consoles drop, the year is one of my favorite times of the year or the seasons, just because it's so much hype around it. Not to mention, it's going to be a lot of hype around E3 too. So if you ain't already got your tickets ready, get your tickets, because I'm going to try to get my ticket, and even if I don't get the ticket, your man's gonna be out there doing some news, so come and check me out. There's still no major word on specs. The only thing that we really know is from the dev kit, it looks like an astronaut toilet, or a lot of people have been memeing it and having it look like one of those Swiffers or one of those vacuum cleaners, like those Automo iRobot type vacuum cleaners that basically pick up all the dirt, grime, and boo-boo ass games that were left by other consoles and systems. One thing we do know that it is speculated that it's going to be backwards compatible, and they realize it. Wow, they realize it. We like to play our past games. Guess what? Guess what, Sony? Great job. Great job. There's still no price. I think they're trying to gauge the market, and they also want to see what's going on with Microsoft. You know, these companies lie to us because, I mean, let's think about it. If your friend, your lady, your parents, you can lie, then what makes you think that these companies ain't gonna lie? They out here talking about we don't care about the other company. We don't care about the competition. That's a lie. You think Google ain't worried about Amazon? Do you think Amazon is not worried about Google? Do you think DC is not worried about Marvel? Well, they are. They just gonna tell you that to save face. And speaking of saving face, the Xbox has showed up and showed out, but we still don't know what the hell it's about. I like the new design of the Xbox One X series, but I think that the name is, well, I think it's boo-boo butter. They must have sat there and looked at what they must have sat there and looked at what Sony was doing and said, hey, well, Sony's just using PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, PlayStation 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, PlayStation 12, and said, hey, how about we do the same thing, and instead of the cool name, which was the Xbox Scarlet, which we thought we were going to get, just like we thought we were going to get the NX, which I still think that the Nintendo NX or the NX, Nintendo Extra, sounds a lot better than, well, the Switch, even though the Switch makes sense because you can switch it to multiple things just straight up out the box. With the controller, with the Joy-Con buys, and with the handheld mode. But Xbox Series X just sounds like a whole bunch of boo-boo butter with some doo-doo crackers, if I'm just gonna be real. But we can't determine anything really until the games come out. As I said already, I like the design of it. A lot of people think it looks like a trash can. I've even said it looks like a trash can, but I will say this. It's the best looking bookshelf type, aesthetically pleasing trash can with the top vents on it that I've ever seen. I really love the new direction that Microsoft is going, which they ain't really doing too much more than they used to do. It's just more, in our face now with the whole plug and play PC type system. I love the fact that they decided, hey, well, you know what? We're Microsoft. We have Windows. We're in pretty much everybody's home. Let's make some kind of device, as in a box, a streaming box, that can also pair with your Xbox exes, all your exes, and I ain't talking about that girl you used to date, but now you got somebody else. All your exes, and then you also can use your controller for the Xbox One X and all of the, and you can use your controller for the PC and all the accessories that you already own. So, I'm almost thinking, even though it's aesthetically pleasing as it is, do I want to drop $400-500 on a new system, or do I just want to get the controller and play for my system? Because y'all know that's the only system I don't have. If you didn't know, I don't have an Xbox One or Xbox One X or an Xbox S or any of the S's, X's, or whatever other alphabet they were using, you know, in conjunction with X. Because, well, I don't know how many times I gotta preach this, how many times I gotta say it. You don't buy a video game system for the hardware. Matter of fact, the companies don't even make money on the hardware. You buy a video game for the software. Show me the games, baby. Show me the games. Whatever game they have that I want to play, or you want to play, or they want to play, that's where you go. You don't just go because Joe Blow told you, get the system that has the games. I didn't see any games that they had on Xbox that I couldn't get on PlayStation and that I couldn't get on Nintendo or my PC. But I mean, that's just me. I don't want no trouble. You know my motto. Can't we all just game along? Along with a game year, 2019 was a huge year for games. It was also an equally big year for anime. The series, which I even didn't give a chance because I got tired of I stop screaming and hollering and blowing up my eardrums. Do not listen to the first episodes of Black Clover with headsets or when you're trying to be quiet. It just don't work out right. Demon Slayers and My Hero Academia have blown up and have become the new big three. Of course, One Piece is always going to be the OG, triple OG, and Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super, respectively, the same thing, will always be the granddaddy of anime, at least here in the States, because, well, that was the one that brought a whole bunch of people in the States to anime. But that's a topic for another day. Demon Slayers ended its season and we're waiting for season 2. So if anybody has any word on when we're going to get season 2 of Mandalorian and when we're going to get season 2 of Demon Slayers, you know what? Yeah, I would appreciate you letting me know because I'm thirsty. My Hero Academia has picked up, and shout out to my dude Lemillion. That's all I'm gonna say, bruh. Shout out to my dude Lemillion. Shout out to my man Deku out here putting it down for the anime block. That's all I can say. We go spoil free zone. But along with that and the lackluster but, sometimes kind of good feels for One Punch Man Season 2, which, let me point out, for me personally, I watched the subs and then I watched the dubs. The translation to the English dub, to me, IMO, in my opinion, were actually better than the subs. It just felt more organic than reading it in the Japanese subs. And usually it's the opposite, But I don't know what it was about One Punch Man Season 2 with this. Maybe it was the whole Saitama finding his way that did it. I really can't put my finger on. But when I do, y'all know I got you. I'll let you know. But along with a new big three and, well, a new voice actor for Broly and some new manga that's coming out for Dragon Ball Super with new villains, and still no word on Broly actually being canon yet. I still cross my heart. I know he's coming. I know they would not miss an opportunity to put Broly in the series. Akira Toriyama would not miss this opportunity to put Broly canon in the series if he already did the other movies to be canon. Come on, bro. I know you wouldn't do that. Everybody loves Broly. Plus, the green. Look at his hair was, the green old thing. He know what he doing. He know what he doing. Along with those big news busters of just the shonen animes as well, the powers that be at the creators of Death Note have said that they're working on a 87-page one-shot of Death Note. That's right. Death Note. I'm interested how the hell that's going to happen. Hell? Light? It's said that the series is going to take place after the original events, and the first issue should be dropping on February 4th. But, Japan get all the good stuff. We ain't gonna get no English anything yet. It's no word on that. But I already know that it's gonna be a whole lot of people out here translating it. Death Note is actually one of my favorite animes, and it's one of the animes I always suggest to people that are not really big anime heads to get into, because it's very easy to digest. Along with Death Note, there's Cowboy Bebop, which can be considered to be the GOAT anime, and there's also Full Metal Alchemist, Steins Gate, and animes that deal with real world problems or certain elements that are real world or things that we think about that are not too far-fetched from, let's say, a science fiction movie. If a person can watch Star Wars, then they can watch an anime. If a person can watch a Marvel MCU Cinematic Universe movie, one of the perfect animes to get them into watching would be My Hero Academia. If any more news comes out with Death Note, and, well, I find anything else out about Demon Slayers Season 2, you know I got your back.
And if you're still thirsty, here's another video for you right here and right here. Water's wet.